There are connections that don't disappear just because people stop talking. Some bonds don't fade with distance. They intensify in silence. If you've felt a sudden heaviness lately, an unexplained pull, a wave of emotion that doesn't feel like yours, this isn't random. Somewhere, someone you're deeply connected to is struggling, and they don't even fully understand why. They wake up thinking they're fine. They distract themselves. They convince themselves they've moved on. But then something small happens. A quiet moment, a memory, a pause in the noise of their day. And suddenly, you surface, not as a thought, as a feeling. You're not haunting them. You're reminding them of a truth they tried to bury. And the reason they're struggling isn't because they're weak. It's because what they felt with you was real. As Carl Jung once said, what we resist not only persists, but grows in size. And right now, you are the feeling they can't escape. 1. The struggle they don't show. Your person's struggle isn't loud. It doesn't look like desperation or dramatic pain. It looks like control, composure, silence. From the outside, they seem fine, productive, stable, maybe even happier than before. But inside, there's tension, an inner contradiction they haven't resolved. They're trying to live a version of life that excludes you, while their emotional body hasn't agreed to that decision. Psychologically, this creates what philosophers and thinkers have long described as inner fragmentation. One part of them wants certainty, safety, and control. Another part remembers how seen, alive, or understood they felt with you. And those two parts are at war. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." You became a why for them, whether they admitted it or not. Now that you're not fully present, their mind keeps circling the same questions. Why did this feel different? Why do I still feel them when they're gone? Why hasn't time erased this? This is where the struggle deepens, because the more they try to suppress you, the stronger the emotional imprint becomes. Silence doesn't erase attachment, it removes distraction. You aren't the problem, you're the mirror, and mirrors are uncomfortable when someone isn't ready to face themselves. 2. Why you affect them more than they expected. Not every connection rewires a person. Most are situational, temporary, replaceable, but some connections activate dormant parts of the psyche. You didn't just enter their life, you activated something. Maybe it was emotional safety they hadn't felt before. Maybe it was authenticity. Maybe it was the rare experience of being understood without explanation. Plato believed that love is the recognition of a soul we've known before. Whether you see that spiritually or psychologically, the effect is the same. Familiarity beyond logic. That's why they're struggling now. Because they expected missing you to be temporary. They expected distraction to work. They expected logic to override feeling. But emotional memory doesn't respond to logic. Your presence became associated with calm, clarity, or emotional truth. And once the nervous system learns that, it doesn't forget easily. This is why ordinary days suddenly feel heavier to them. Why moments of stillness feel uncomfortable. Why they keep moving but feel stuck. You didn't do anything wrong. You did something real, and real connections don't disappear quietly. 3. The silent conflict inside them. There's a specific kind of suffering that happens when someone refuses to admit what they feel. Your person is experiencing it now. They tell themselves stories to stay in control. It wasn't that deep. It wouldn't have worked anyway. I'm better off this way. But emotions don't obey narratives. They obey truth. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once said, "The most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly the one you'll never have." That's their struggle. They aren't just missing you, they're grieving a version of themselves that only existed when you were present. And here's the hardest part. They don't hate you for this. They resent themselves. Because deep down, they know they felt something rare, and they weren't ready, brave, or aligned enough to hold it. So they suffer quietly, and pride keeps them silent. Chapter 4. Why you feel them too. If you felt emotional waves that don't make sense, you're not imagining it. Strong emotional bonds create reciprocal awareness, not mystical fantasy, psychological resonance. When two people emotionally attune to each other, their absence doesn't sever the bond immediately. It lingers, it echoes. That's why you may feel sudden sadness without cause, or think of them at odd moments, or feel an urge to pull away and then miss them all at once. You're not meant to fix their struggle. You're meant to stay grounded in yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Their struggle belongs to their growth. Your peace belongs to yours." And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is remain still, allowing truth to rise without force. 5. What this struggle is teaching them. This season is shaping them. Whether they admit it or not, they're being confronted with emotional honesty, with vulnerability, with the cost of avoidance. You became the catalyst, not to reunite necessarily, but to awaken. Some people return changed, some grow silently, some never speak, but never forget. And that's okay, because your role wasn't to be chosen immediately. It was to be felt deeply. As Rumi said, where there is ruin, there is hope for a treasure. You were the treasure they didn't know how to hold. If your person is struggling because of you, it doesn't mean you failed. It means you mattered. Not every meaningful connection ends in togetherness, but every real one leaves transformation behind. Release the need to be acknowledged. Release the need to be chosen. Your presence already did its work. And what's meant to return will, what's meant to stay, already has. If this message resonated with your heart, you're not alone here. This channel is a space for emotional truth, intuition, and the psychology of deep connections. Subscribe if you're ready to understand what silence really means, what distance teaches, and why some bonds never truly end. You're exactly where you're meant to be.